So all those who are claiming to be African Americans and Negroes, and Negro is Spanish, and nigga is Latin, and black is English. So you're more. You're more. So it's not about a religion. It's who you are. So the process of what they were doing in Wild Wild West is to show you that they were denationalizing you. Why did they pick Will Smith right now in this movie to play that part? Will Smith already knows who he is. But in that field, they can't say it. They cannot say that in those fields. They cannot. He won't get paid like he would, but, you know, he won't have it. Stevie Wonder has a track out in Bamboozle, and I wish we had that track. If you go back and look at Bamboozle, the beginning of that song. Now, this is a man physically that cannot see, but mentally knows. In the beginning of this track, he said in 1492, when y'all came upon these shores, 700 years educated by the Moors. And from now until then, we have been unrepresented people. He didn't say himself nor somebody else. He said we have been unrepresented people. He was telling you in the song. But you don't hear about it, do you? You don't even hear about this. See, they're throwing those jabs at you, but you're not getting it. Did you have some Johnny come lately or someone else that don't know their own history because they call themselves African Americans or blacks are saying that they're African Americans, and they want to teach you, like Brother Abdullah just was saying, they spend mad money on African American history, and it's not teaching you nothing. But they will never touch on what I'm just sharing with these brothers right here, the youth of what a black Moor is, who the Moors are. There's movies out that is telling you. The movie was stupid. To me, it was a stupid movie.
Wow.
But it had a message in it because he was in Normandy. And Normandy was right here in LA. If you watch the beginning of the movie, he was in Normandy, but he went back in time on the same spot, home. He was already here. And he looked up. You have to pay attention to all the movies. He looked up and there was a sign saying Normandy. And they had it in LA. So he was already here, but he fell in the water, in the pond. But he was already here. He had to go back into the water again. The water again. To realize that he was here, but he couldn't believe it. But he was running around talking about a Moor. They didn't know. I mean, he didn't know who the Moor was. Now that's us walking to our people saying, "You know you're a Moor." They're like, "I'm not a Moor." We hear it all day long. I'm not a Moor. But he didn't get it to the end, because once you become conscious of who you are, there's a responsibility and there's morals that you have to follow. You have to be upright, like Elijah said, perpendicular, straight up on your square, and never allow nobody to knock you off your square. You play this okay? I'm just showing these to show you so you can go back and you can share this information with other people, showing that these movies. Can we get the subtitles? But it's funny because they use. Listen, look at the prominent brothers that they use. Will Smith, Martin Lawrence. Look at them. They use these brothers and they make them look foolish. Because each one of these movies was comedic, comic. Black Knight was comic. Black Knight, Wild Wild West, all of them. Just let it play through. He's going to actually make the comment. And he was through the movie. He was saying, "Huh?
Your Majesty, if I may have your attention."
Were you taught this in school?
Starting
What? Where you were?
Inglewood High, two-time
You looked it up yourself?
All-County Conference Player of the Year, the messenger from Normandy, Jamal Scott.
What's Jamal Skywalker? Jamal?
What's up?
Jamal?
What's happening, y'all? Thank you. Appreciate it, big homie. Thank you. It's the what's up? Hey, what's up there?
What color you
Oh, man. Man, that brings back me.
What is our colors?
Red and green.
Red and green, isn't it?
My daughter and I welcome you. What news from Normandy?
What's the color they got there? No. Look at them.
Hold up. A couple of drive-bys.
Red.
Other than that, same old thing.
Red and green. Everything is similar. Don't think that these people that's putting this stuff together are Masons who's putting this stuff together. Because of the impact of what we're doing, they put it directly in front of your face. There was a movie on National Treasure. He said the Queens is right in front of your face. See? Silence, boy. Did he call me black?
Oh, I get it.
This was in the 14th
You must
century.
seem like an emperor. Okay, well,
Black Knight, or Black Knight was in the 17th. This was in the 14th. So why are we continuing to keep going back and saying that we're black people? And some even have some people saying that black more means black. No, it doesn't. It don't mean that. It's talking about dark people or brown people. But again, who's teaching us this information? This is how we have to teach our children, so they can take this back to school, and then they'll start demanding human rights instead of civil rights. And this is what was going on when I was in Gina. They were arguing civil rights, and I'm in the crowd saying, why? Brother Troy was there. He saw we the only two that was on the bus talking about nationality as Moors. We build and say, look, that's not going to happen this way. We have to build on. Malcolm told you what was going on. Malcolm spoke on what? Did he say human rights or civil rights?
Human rights.
So why are our so-called prominent leaders still talking about civil rights?
Because they were so loud?
No, because what happened, yeah, that's one of them. But what happened, if anyone who studies the Dred Scott decision, and there's a main powerful volume of this case. This is the original Dred Scott decision. Take it out of the law library. And it speaks about how blacks don't have no political rights at all. I'm sorry. So anybody in here, talking about civil rights, you don't have no rights. You have granted privileges. Sorry.
It's just civil rights. It's just civil rights.
Just civil rights. I don't mean to bust your bubble.
Not civil liberties.
No, it's civil rights. You're not civil liberties. And that falls under your human rights. And actually, if you study these civil rights is actually unconstitutional. If anybody read that, it's unconstitutional. So I'm still trying to get close enough to a supposedly leader to ask them why we're arguing civil rights in 2007. It's not. And are they familiar with this case? Because this case is so deep. If you read it, it will make you really want to go out and hurt somebody. Seriously, I'm talking about the ambulance chases. That's Jesse. That's Al. That's all the ambulance chases when something happens. So I want to ask those questions. And maybe they'll see this, or maybe they want to contact me and sit down with me. I don't know. Sit down with some real Moors. But that case, that case is very, very important because it's never been overturned. It's never been overturned. And some people may say, well, the Plessy versus Ferguson's case overturned that, or the 14th Amendment overturned that. And the 14th Amendment didn't overturn it. Sorry to bust your bubble, didn't overturn it. 14th Amendment didn't do anything, and it was done. Actually, it wasn't properly ratified if you actually read the Constitution. So we really have to study the whole Dred Scott decision. That case is so, like I said, so powerful. I heard one attorney, Art Maddox, said that's the only case that we need to take into a courtroom. And until we come together as who we really are and start exercising our birthright, not privileges, then we can make an impact on all the stuff that's going on. So, I mean, can we find out the definition of a Moor? And this is another book. I want everybody to get this also. This is a very good book. And if anybody have any children in any school, you must have this book. You got this, huh? Anybody who have this book, take this book and get it into the schools. If you have children in school, get this book. It's Ancient and Modern Brits. I can actually write it down on the board. There's a history behind this too, with Princess Diana and Louis Lafayette and Popeye and Bruce. So it's actually. Oh shoot! You said something. That's what you said. Well, let me show you. This book was written in 1884. How many people heard about this book? You heard?
On the radio show.
My radio show.
Yeah.
See, it's funny because real talk radio needs to start talking about this kind of stuff if we're going to change the condition of our people's thinking. If you look at radio and TV, it's nothing but propaganda. This book's been out since 1884, and no school has this book inside. This history we would go into the Scottish Moors, how we were an island first, how Scotland means black land is Gaelic. Am I correct, Abdullah? It means black land. The King of Scotland, Forrest Whitaker, playing a role. Think about it. They're telling you through the movies.
What about the video, the Outcast video?
Yeah, I saw that, but they think he's crazy.
Yeah, that's
Our
Morris,
people.
that's Morris Guard.
That's Morris Guard. Even Formula 54. And Samuel Jackson wore the kelp. It's ours. It's not theirs. You got to go back and study history. So if we have that mindset of us being descendant of Africans, and us coming on slave ships, and you didn't do anything, that's all you want to have, that you didn't do anything. You say, oh yeah, well, they taught us X, Y, and Z. I quote Minister Farrakhan. He said, you don't go to the jungle and pick up, get somebody to build your cities. You picked up a mason. You picked up a builder to build these cities. We built this. They're hiding behind all these European bases.